Let's go to our man Jim in Palm Harbor. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how are you guys this morning?
Morning, Jim. Good. Yourself?
Oh, I'm great. I love the weather right now.
Oh,
can't beat this weather, man.
The weather, folks, is extraordinary down here now. I mean, this is when we cherish this whole deal. Now till May, we're in good shape. So we're going to enjoy it. And you know what's so cool, Jim? Isn't the beginning of it is so cool because you know you have a stretch of 4, 5, 6 months.
And because you haven't felt it in 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I like it. My question this morning is the low of Friday, when you look at it on the RSP, the equal weight for the S&P 500, or if you look at the .SPX, the bar we had Friday is getting into the February 9th bar that was the low. And I was just wondering, is that an indication? And it did it on high volume, too, on Friday, this last Friday. It had high volume. And it got down into the low of February 9th bar. And I was just wondering, based on an equal weighting of the S&P 500, if that's a sign that we're very close to that bottom, or the test of the February 9th low you keep referring to.
Yeah, my take is that we're going to get there on the cash too, which is lower. Not lower, but I understand what you're saying. When you get this close to it, let's say like on the SPY, it's 250, 292, and then we got to 262, so it's $10 off it. You'll get a really good indication this week. And if we bounce on light volume, Jim, what that would mean is that you're building cause to get down into that level. And we'll find out pretty quick, man, because there's going to be good action this week. I mean, I think we've got a bounce going right now. But to me, you know, if we take this, if we take the cash S&P, we put this on a monthly, you know, you dug into this bar pretty good. You know, but that bar is still, you know, 170 points lower than we are. You know, but we went down to 26.28. That low is 25.32. You know, so I mean, I think this is to me this would be a tradable bounce. That's for sure. I mean, I know you know if you like some equities, just keep a real tight stop on them because the way that the oil market went down, the IWM, I don't think they're done. I don't think they're done going down, you know, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just got curious about that. I was looking at the equal weight on these, and
what is the symbol of the equal weighted one?
RSP.
RSP. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So, okay, so RSP is the Invesco S&P 500 equal weight ETF. Okay, so we bring this down. And
on Friday we had really high volume. It was like almost 3.5 million or something.
Oh, so this, okay, so watch this. This is really dangerous then. This is really cool that you called on this. Okay, so watch what happens here. We came down there with 9.9 million on the weekly. We were going into 10.5. That's dangerous, man. You know, that volume is really close to hitting a high volume high. Hey, just stay there for a second, because we'll talk about this when we come back. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. We have the Dow Industrials right now up 325, NASDAQ up 117, S&P's up 35. Dow right now is down 323, NASDAQ's up. Dow's up 323. Sorry about that, folks. Dow's up 100. NASDAQ's up 109. S&P's are up 33. We're talking with our man Jim from Palm Harbor and RSP. So, two different things here is that, so the RSP is the S&P 500 equal weighting. That came back to that swing low with too much volume. This is what you want to wrap your head around. So the RSP is an equal weighting, has a market cap of 14.7 billion. If we go over to the SPY and take a look at this, what you're going to see is that the SPY has a market cap of 250 billion. And the good, the bad, and the ugly of going up or going down, Jim, right, is this. Is that as you're going up, the trustee of the S&P 500 has to buy the stocks. As you're going down, they have to sell the stocks. this overwhelms everything. You want to keep your eye on the SPY. That's the bottom line, okay? Because
Okay.
you know the structure is so much larger. I mean, it's huge. So
Well,
you know,
how does the SPX relate in that regard?
the SPX is actually the cash market. And what happens with this is cool. Okay, this is a great question. So what happened years ago, folks, is that when I was first in this market, Tim Ord, right, is one of the best market timers out there. And as he was going through, we were trading a lot together. And what ended up happening is that he was using the futures at that particular point. I kept looking at the cash. I'm saying to myself, you know, you can move the futures. You cannot move the cash until the market is opened. So what ends up happening is this. The cash does not trade. So what ends up happening is as the market opens, everyone is buying or selling the S&P. That is what the cash number is. And what I found, and we both ended up finding, that the cash is a better vehicle to look at because the liquidity is much better. The cash only moves from 9:30 to 4:15 in the afternoon. It's actually 4:10 or something, okay? And that's what the difference is. And that's why we think at this particular point that's more accurate, you know, indication.
Because it's the 500 different share prices.
That's correct.
To put things versus,
Right.
you know, you
Right.
put a load in there in terms of a buy order for, you know, the futures of the SPY, it's going to move. It might recalibrate back to, you know, somewhere in line with
Right.
the SPX. But if you want to move the SPX, the cash, you better have orders on 500 different equities, or at least on all the big ones to really push it.
Exactly.
Not easily done.
And what would end up happening is that either before the market or after the market, if you're Goldman Sachs, you're Morgan Stanley, you want to move the market, well, guess what? You have unlimited money. You go into the futures, give me 300 contracts, either up or down. Well, you're going to move those futures.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? So that's the gist of how this cash works versus, you know, the S&P or anything, or the futures in general. You know, so it's a much more accurate, I would say, number because everything has to be traded simultaneously, you know, when liquidity, so that's...
Okay. I mean, I'm trying to get my head around the difference then between the SPX being the actual S&P 500 and the SPY. Which one do you give more credence to like that?
The SPY intraday, you can definitely pay attention. The SPY number, when the market's open, from 9:30 to 4, would correlate directly with the SPX. Directly.
Okay.
It won't prior to it and after it, because what also happens there is that the futures can move and will move the SPY before the market opened and after the market's closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that helps me a lot.
Well, listen, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man. Have a great one, man. Have a safe one.
Okay. You guys too.
Thanks,
Thank
Jim.
you.